Back. So here's going to be the review for the Korvold Fakers King build that I did. So if you don't know, Korvold is green, red, black, 2 colors, 4/4 flying. Dragon Noble. When Korvold Fakers King enters the battlefield or attack, sacrifice another permanent. When you sacrifice a permanent, put a 1/1 count on Korvold and draw a card. So it's all going to be about sacking stuff, right? So I went for land mulch. So I've been testing this one out, Shadow Game Brothers. It's a good little way to sack things and get removal at the same time, so that's why I put it in here. It's been pretty interesting. A lot of times I don't have to worry about getting to it because I'm too faster, but if something takes a little bit longer to play, then these guys are pretty clutch. Brash Taunter, Talisman of Impulse, Command Tower, Fable Passage, Escape the Wilds, absolutely love Escape the Wilds, Escape Shift, Pattern of Rebirth, Sneak Attack, Mana Bond, Ringen's Nexus, Forest, Jury Master Review, Mayhem Devil, Winding Canyon, Get Rog, Anger, Obnixilis Fallen. Get this thing to focus here. Reshape the Earth, Mountain, Strip Mine, Dryad the Leasing Grove, Forest, Soul Ring, Survival of the Fittest, Forest, another Forest, Need for Speed, Noxious Revival, Forest, Mountain, Torment of Hellfire, Forest. Squander Resources, one of my all-time favorite cards for this deck. You're sacking a land, but whenever you do, you're adding that mana to the mana pool. Forest, Splendid Reclamation, Cinderglade, Oracle Modiah, Forest, Talisman Indulgence, another Forest, Lord Windgrace, Mountain finally, 3 visits, Stomping Grounds, Dust Bowl, Mountain again, Birthen Pod, Haunted Ridge, Heroic Intervention, Swamp, Titania, Forest, Mountain, Trump of the Hordes, Putrid Field, Blood Crypt, Overabundance. So, first off, I'm like, well, you kind of, you're giving your opponent the advantage as well. But with as fast as this thing plays, I mean, once you throw this out there, you're starting to go and take the ground running. You don't really care about what your opponent's going to be doing with his mana. You just know that you're going to be cranking it out and chomping it up. Windswept Teeth, got to turn up on to Explore, Misty Rainforest, Balanced Realms, Nature's Lore, Marsh Flats, Wooded Foothills, Talisman of Resilience. So again, somebody asked me about the Talisman the other day. I do run, usually on all my commander decks, I run a full suite of talismans. I am a big proponent of using talismans. I love talismans. They're easy, they're efficient, they're great mana rocks. They're not filter mana rocks, they straight do what you want them to do, which is pay 2. And when you're in dual color or tricolor, like both of these decks are, they're sometimes even better than an Arcane Signet, to be fair, because you're getting that colorless if you ever need it for whatever. But or if you need a damage trigger for yourself. But yeah, always run a full suite of talismans. Vampire Tutor, Worldly Tutor, Omnath Locust of Rage, Mana Confluence again, Zurin Orb, Bloom Tender, Amulet of Vigor. So the reason that I put this in here is because you do put a lot of lands into play tapped in this deck. Summer Bloom, Reanimate, Protein Hulk, Crucible of Worlds, Siren the Moaning Well. This is the bail you out of situation. 3, sacrifice a creature, you gain life equals sacrifice creature's toughness. You're usually doing that at the Korvold. Swamp, Terrain Generator, Savage Summonings, Arcane Signet, Fast Bond. My God, I can't talk enough about Fast Bond. So I think this is coming in around $20-$30 right now. Might be more than that. This is the revised one, I believe. So you got 1 green mana. You may put as many lands into play as you want each turn. Fast Spawn does 1 damage to you for every land beyond the first that you play in a single turn. So a lot of times this is absolutely worth it, because you're going so fast. You're going for shock and awe, and if you can fast spawn out, and then Runemac Excavator, so that you can play lands from your graveyard, and you have a fetch land, man, you just keep going until you pull all the lands out of your deck that are associated with that fetch land, and then you start doing the fetch land as a sacrifice and ETP trigger, and you can pretty much just start blowing everybody away with that. Lotus Cobra, Brain of Filth, Forest, Exploration, Mountain, Skeleton Tarn, Overgrown Tomb. Reprocess is another one of the MVPs in my deck here. I've always liked just the art of Reprocess. It's a Phyrexian processor. So 2 black, 2 colorless. Sacrifice any number of artifacts, creatures, and/or lands to draw a card for each one sacrificed this way. So you're getting a mass sacrifice trigger, which a lot of times comes in clutch for how this deck plays. You're going to be wanting to do that so you can generate elementals with Titania, and then elementals from the landfall triggers off of Omnath, and then you're sacrificing all those elementals that you made between Omnath and Titania. And for each one of those sacrifices, you're doing 3 damage. So that's a way to win. World Shaper, Sylvan Safekeeper, Metamorphosis, Runemac Excavator, Skyshroud Claim, and the Great Hinge. What a good way to end it. So yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. Honestly, the reason I didn't really go too much into detail. I'm going to keep this one at a 10-minute as well. But the reason I didn't go too crazy into detail on some of these cards is that I've been playing this one for a very long time, and I feel like a lot of you have seen a similar build, or you may even be running a build yourself. And we did a whole with one of somebody that I was able to have on here. We did a build of this where it talked about what type of mulch cards you want to include, and a lot of the mulch cards are actually in here. So I'll tell you what I want to do. I'll just have you look at that for a second. I'll go find some of my favorite mulch cards that there's quite a few of them in here, but you've got obviously the Gitrog monster, right? So he's a commander himself, and apparently he is a CEDH commander. So this is a sub commander for the deck. So Mana Bond. During your discard phase, you may choose to put all land cards from your hand into play. If you do, discard the rest of your hand. With all the card draw that you do with this deck, Mana Bond is absolutely necessary to play. If you don't, it's like doing a fast bond, right? But you're getting rid of the rest of your hand, so it's not a big deal, really. Squandered resources, sacrifice land, add to your mana pool any 1 mana of any type the sacrifice land could produce, place ability as mana source. This is a green and black enchantment, which is it's an excellent enchantment for what it is. The good thing about running enchantments in these decks too is that you can sacrifice them if you don't need them, right? Or if you need a quick sacrifice, because most of the time you'll just sacrifice anything. Here we go. So Rain of Filth. Each land you control gains sacrifice this land, add black to your mana pool until end of turn. And that is 1 black for Rain of Filth. That's instant speed. So you're getting your sacrifice triggers, plus you're adding black to your mana pool. A lot of times it doesn't matter what you have in your mana pool, right? You're just using it to play some of the bigger stuff. And really, that's it. And this is for the Korvold Faith Curse King deck. And this is going to be the one that I want to test it against my brand new CEDH deck and see how they play with each other, and see how they do. I'm not too sure. I don't think that the Korvold will do that well, but I may be wrong. He may just have a lot of threats being thrown out there. there's not a lot of interaction from the other deck, so that's going to be something interesting to see.